What's up, everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to another edition of Track Walk in MX Simulator, where today we're going to be playing a track called Rundown SX by username of Palm189 on the forums. P-A-L-M, like the Palm Franz or whatever you want to call him. He's a pretty new user to the forums, and I believe that this is his first ever track release, or like big time official track release of any kind. And he did a really good job on this track. I really like it, so I was playing it, spun a couple laps on it and stuff like that. And yeah, lo and behold, we're gonna play it for a track walk today because I just like it too much to ignore it. So the vibe of it, as he described on the forums, is it's supposed to look like an old factory test track or something like that was run down. Like it got its use in, and then either the season started and they're no longer testing there, or maybe it's a year or two old at this point. So you can kind of even see there's just kind of like shrubs and bushes kind of all around the track mixed in and stuff like that. And then you'll even notice that in some of the corners and some of the jumps and stuff like that, there's like defined ruts built in all throughout the track as well. So he kind of like took that extra step to give it the, like, everybody chose these lines on this track for a long time and got used to these ruts on the track and stuff like that. Kind of feel like even inside right here with a little bit of water in it and stuff like that. So just like overall environment wise, I just think it's really cool that this was like clearly some kind of inspiration on his mind, where he was like, I've seen rundown supercross tracks before, I want to see one in sim. Maybe I can't honestly remember seeing something that looked exactly like this before, where it had this vibe of like an abandoned test track of some kind. But I like it. It's got a unique feel to it. And the track is actually the 2017 Indianapolis Supercross track. Like, it's a replica of that. And I think it's really well built. I raced that track back in 2017 when I was still a pro in sim. Obviously, I remember what it looks like in real life and stuff like that. And I just think he did a really good job of kind of putting all the elements where they needed to be and where they should be. And overall building a really good, easy, kind of fun test track to play. Like, honestly, so that's one of my biggest things about it is I always try to show you guys videos here on Track Walk that are tracks that I think that you, the viewer, whether you're a pro or a beginner at this game, or you've played for a long time, or you're brand new to the game, or whatever your skill level is in the game, you can try out some of these tracks and feel like you're getting something done. I always kind of shy away from playing the really hard and technical and challenging tracks. I sometimes do them, like So You Think You Know SX and other things like that, where they're meant to be a challenge, but that's more or less just to be like kind of like a fun video to watch. This one is more of like, I think if any one of these people watching this video picked this up, started playing it today, that they'd feel pretty comfortable on it pretty quickly. And the reason I feel that way is because I am not as good at sim as I used to be. I still have the skills laying in there somewhere, but I definitely am not as good as I used to be. But this track, I feel like pretty quickly brought out the old skill set. Like you can see, I just feel like I'm riding kind of like I used to ride, like just comfortable, flowy, not thinking much about it, putting in laps. And it really struck me as a track that, not many tracks can do that anymore. This track just kind of stood out to me as one that was able to kind of make me feel right at home again at playing this game. And so I think if it can do that for me, I think it could do it for just about anybody, in my opinion. But yeah, that's why I wanted to do it for a track walk, just to kind of show it off and explain that this is a really nice track. And Palm189, I don't know if he's going to make more tracks or if it's an interest to him to continue building tracks, but I don't know. If I were him, I would definitely say keep pushing for it, because this is a good start. If this is his actual first track that he's ever made, I don't know, maybe this is just the first track that he's ever released. I honestly don't know. He didn't specify. Just said that this is like an old abandoned test track, and he obviously took some decals and some stuff from other people, but that's how it works in this game. And overall, really nice track, really well put together. And like I said, the environment just gives it a nice feel. Let me try to put together a couple more laps on this track, and then I want to show you around the facility just a little bit. It's not really a big compound or anything like that, but the elements that he did include are just kind of cool. Let's see if I can get a triple onto this table. Cased it. I definitely can get it. I just didn't hook that rut in that one corner. I like this track though. Back in 2017 when I raced it, it was a good track. I think I finished 6th in the East main event back then. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I was top 10 at least. That was the year that, it was my last year racing pro supercross in this game. Last year I felt good at this game too. Every year since then I feel like I've gotten progressively worse. Let's try to triple out of this corner. Nice. Triple in here. And then you can also triple here. Over the bars, darn. So you can triple there. You can swing wide in the next corner and then triple in, which I already did, I think once or twice before. And then just hit the supercross triple. I really like how the ruts feel on the supercross triple. They're not so like grabby that they pull you down or anything like that. They're just the right size, I think, to lodge in or kind of skim across or whatever and not feel like it's pulling you into the face of the jump and then you get all topsy-turvy or sideways on it. So I like that addition. Let's see if I can pop this triple on now. Nose heavy, darn. Oh man, I was riding so good so long and then it immediately started falling apart. I put like 3 really solid laps in. So let me try to put in one more just smooth, consistent lap, not thinking too much about it. Let's just put in a good lap and maybe I'll start feeling like I used to feel in this game. Change my controller settings around a little bit, move my rear brake and put my front brake on my left trigger, which it hasn't been forever. It's been a right bumper, which is just a stupid configuration. But it's still something I'm trying to get used to. I often do a brake tap with the front brake now, which is awful because then your nose just dives. So still trying to get used to it. I think because of that, my skill set at this game isn't quite on par with what I think I could do still. I still think that somewhere in there, the skills that I did have do exist, and occasionally I can pull them to the forefront, but lately I feel like I've just been awful at this game. Into this inside rut. Nice. Pop the supercross triple. Do I want to triple in? Why not? Oh, baby, got it. It's a good lap right here. Just got to finish it strong. Look at that, 55.3, laid in my best lap at the end. All right, let's show you around this compound a little bit. So, like I said, kind of cool that he has the water here. He has this water that runs parallel to the track all the way down here. I don't even know it. It's got a little fence that just sits out right there. He's also got this stand right here, which is kind of cool because you can always do, if you're not good at renders, which I'm definitely not, you can just pop this bike onto the stand and use Invisible Rider. And then you have like a render scene, like just the bike can sit on the stand. You can take screenshots. I've always done that, but see, bike just sits on the stand. You just use Invisible Rider, and that's kind of cool. So just a little tidbit that he added there. Then he added a house from the Wells Estate and Kennel, and another stand up here. That stand also has collisions, and this has a little garage in here. This is probably the most well put together little house I've ever seen in this game. But Neil Wells, who put that house together, is really, really good at what he does, so makes sense. Then this is apparently a KTM factory racing test track because they've got 2 KTM trucks. They obviously have another stand right here, and then a little trailer, so that's kind of cool, but you can just go through all that stuff. Another trailer over here. It's got some Bobcats in the middle, and then good old JLV. This is the game creator right here, if you never knew that. He's a flagger. That's Josh Vanderhoof right there. Some more Bobcats, but maybe the coolest part about this track, and people I think are really gonna like this, he included a huge jump on this track that sends you to the freaking moon, and right after it, he included a half pipe. So who would have thought on this dinky little supercross track, you got this big floater jump. Oh, land that into a half pipe. Oh, come on, land this. That would be the coolest sequence ever. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. That was almost so sick. I pulled the gnarliest oppo I think I pulled just straight up and down and then almost threw it right into a big Axel Hodges kind of quarter pipe thingy majigger. Let's try to put another quarter pipe thing down here. I'm landing on the plateau. Darn. Man, that was so cool, though. I can't believe how I just almost pulled that off. I still can't believe that I just threw that gnarly oppo whip. That was huge. All right, let's try to hit another side of this quarter pipe real quick. There's 2 areas on this side over here that you can hit. You kind of even set it up so you kind of go up this ramp, and then it even has like these little, I think these white lines are supposed to be like, hey, hit it right here. Just coming straight back down. Oh, I almost faked out of it. That was kind of interesting. Oh man. But yeah, this is just such a really cool track. Like I said, it's kind of small, but the environment, it's just well put together. There's a couple things that are, I think, a little wrong with it. Like he didn't include dirt in all these spots, so there's just like some freestanding white little marks all throughout the track and stuff like that. But that's just because he didn't include dirt textures or dirt decals, I should say, on top of that. And it looks like he used like a default grass decal on some of it. And then he didn't put shadows on the trees, but again, I barely knew how to do that until I was like 4 or 5 years into track making. So just little details that, you know, he'll pick up on and he'll get better at. But still, the track itself, which is always what matters, it plays so well, it feels so good, it's got great flow, and honestly, it's a track that I would recommend you guys check out, you know? If you've already played Indy 2017, I mean, yeah, you're probably rehashing stuff and it feels like the old track again, but to me, I think this track plays awesome, it feels really good, and definitely a track I would recommend to you guys, hence me doing it for a track walk today. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Appreciate you guys stopping by, watching another track walk here in MX Simulator, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.